Hello, this is Ron Brown. I'm going to begin another video series, and it's called Order Flow and Context. I'm going to combine order flow and chart analysis with HGS Investor, and this is the first video in this series. I don't know how many I'll do, but I'll make sure to cover the subject. Now, I'm doing this on May 13th, 2024. I didn't do a weekend video this week because I was out of town. Always remember the market is your teacher, and that's really what this video series is about. Now, moving on to the standard risk disclaimer. As usual, I'm just going to read these two. Any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. Now, I'm going to be using a PDF file, and you're welcome to download it. If you don't have the software, it's not going to do you much good. So if you're not a subscriber, you can go to highgrowthstock.com, and you'll see the link to the order. You don't have to give us a credit card or anything. Just download the software and start using it. Now, if you do that, you'll be on the list of trial subscribers for 30 days, and you'll be getting all of these files that I'm going to be showing in these videos. Now, the PDF, just type this into your browser, www.hgsinvestor. It's not High Growth Stock Investor. This is my FTP site. It's hgsinvestor.com/context charts.pdf. I don't believe you'll have to capitalize these, but you may. Once again, it's www.hgsinvestor.com/context charts, all one word, and then .pdf, and it will download. Now, this is what the PDF file looks like. This is from webinar I did in the past. I just pulled this up, made a few changes on it, but we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about order flow and market sentiment. And by the way, after I get through this video series, I'll do some online sessions where you can ask questions, and we'll look for some live, potential live trades and so on, but that'll be several weeks in the future. Anyway, I'm going to talk about my charting tools, volume price analysis, of course. I'm going to talk about the VPA flags for signals, volume point of control, signal and strength, pocket pivots, support and resistance, which fall under these are signals, these three. These fall under context, support and resistance, exponential moving averages. And I put some new charts. They're not new charts, they're modified charts, which I'm using. I put them in a separate folder, in folder number 15, and I'll show you that here pretty soon. And of course, HGSI has both end of day and intraday user scans. For determining trends, be using weekly charts for long-term trends and daily charts for, it says entries or potential entries. Now, these are some other older PDFs that you're welcome to download if you want to. I'll bring them up quickly. This is the cheat sheet, which shows you the VPA signals in HGS Investor. This one is a VPA shape guide. Now, I use candlesticks primarily. I have some bar charts, but it shows you the shape of the VPA flags, and there's a description and a condition. And all of this information is just for reference. You can see there are 6 pages of it, but it's there for you to download. Here's the explanation of HGS Investor as far as the VPA, or how it's put together, what all of this stuff means. You can go through this if you want to. And finally, if you use Thinkorswim with the VPA public domain add-on that's out there, I believe this is a cheat sheet for it. I say I believe because I think most of these correspond to it. But Thinkorswim up in the upper part of the chart, it tells you what the signal is, but I just included that. And moving on down, these are things I'm going to discuss in these videos: price mechanics, structure, and direction. Now, a lot of this work is from several Udemy classes that I have taken by a trader named Frank Bunn. I believe his early videos are some of the best. They make a lot of sense about his description, and what I've done is I've taken his ideas and modified them for HGSI, and of course I've added my own. Now, he doesn't pay much attention to volume. He pays a lot of attention to MACD, which I really don't use. But his concepts are good, and then I'm going to be integrating those with my own concepts. But we're going to talk about structure and direction. We're going to talk about pivot trends, pivots versus a confirmed pivot, price action, trend changes. These are items that Frank discusses: order flow and market sentiment. These are things that he discusses, and also things that I've come up with, or other people. I mean, there's really nothing new in technical analysis or chart reading, but Frank Bunn, does a good job of describing his techniques, and I just took those techniques, like I said, and I incorporated them into HGSI. But I've also added many things. He doesn't even mention VPA. It's not in his vocabulary. I mention that a lot because it's part of the software, and it's very useful. So contraction, price action reversals, and finally the price level system. These are all things that I'm going to get into over the next several videos. So like I said, if you want this for a reference, just download it. Go back to the first part of this video and get the download link, and then you can save it, and then you'll have it for reference as I go through these videos. I'm going to minimize this, and I am going to record this in 4K. Now, the fonts may be a little bit smaller, but they're readable. I've tested it on several different monitors, and I'm primarily going to be talking about charts anyway, but I like to use this. This is what I use day to day, this magnification, and it allows me to get a lot more on the screen. So that's why I'm using this. If it's a problem, if I get a lot of complaints about using this size, this size fonts, or the sharpness, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But if you can't read it, let me know, and I'll do future videos at a different resolution. Okay, now I'm going to bring up the quick pick chart, or the quick pick for the warehouse, I mean. And when you install, and these have been in there a while, I've just never spent much time talking about them, but I've gone back through and I've reviewed some of Frank's videos because I haven't done it for quite a while, and these charts have been in here, and this is something I can do in HGSI, or we can do in HGSI, that he doesn't do, because he doesn't use the program, but we have the advantage of this. I have created these charts, or scans, I'm sorry, which go in and locate, let me go to all securities here. If I'm looking for micro trend up, what's a micro trend? Well, I'm going to explain that, but it's really when the 3 is above the 6. So I have micro trend up intraday, end of day, and intraday. Short-term trend, And I'll explain all these. I don't think I'll get into it right now. I just want you to be aware that these are in here. There's a description in that PDF file of what all these are: micros, short-term, intermediate, and so on. It's listed in that PDF file you can download. And I have the same thing for down. Now these are scans, so we can quickly go to the type of trend we're looking for. If I'm looking for stocks that are possibly turning up, I would just go here to the micro trend, and I'll show you that here's ARM. It's up intraday today 7%. The days since it crossed over is 6 days ago, but the VPOC, or volume point of control, just crossed over yesterday. So let me bring up one of these context charts with the EMAs without VPA, and you can see that the 3 has crossed the 6, and it crossed back here. I'm sorry, right here, I was on the wrong one. This is volume, this is a crossover. So it crossed over and it's continuing to go up. And notice that the 6 has not crossed the 18, and of course the 18 hasn't crossed the 50, and the fan is down. So what these scans let us do is look for stocks that are just beginning, potentially beginning their run. I don't know if they're beginning or not, but it shows me the stocks which meet the criteria. Now I'm currently in all securities, but if I go in here and look for money flow in, I can just cut this down considerably. So these are stocks that as of Friday were showing money flow in, and you can see ARM is here. And I don't have to go through a whole bunch of stocks. These are the number of days since the crossover. Even though they've crossed over, they haven't crossed over enough that the 6 and 18 moving averages have crossed over. The 18 is a brown line, and the 6 is on it today, but this is as of Friday. It hadn't crossed over. Let's just look at another one. I'll just go down to Cognizant, the next one. This crossed over 4 days ago, and the VPOC crossed over 5 days ago, or volume point of control. And well, let's just bring it up. And here it is. I'll enlarge it so we can see it better. So here's volume, and here's the crossover right here. You can see the crossover, and now it's continuing to move up. So these scans, like I said, can help us find stocks that are just beginning their moves. Now this chart here, there's no VPA. I have a context chart with the 3, 6, 18, and 50 with VPAs on it also. So you can just look for stocks which are showing VPA flags also. We'll get into all this as I go through these videos, but I think this is all going to be very helpful to find stocks that are in different phases. Now, if you look over here, the weekly chart, you can see how far this has fallen, and it's starting to build some momentum to the upside. I'm just going to go to the other extreme. These are stocks with the intermediate trend up, and the fan is up. Now, there are 93 of them. So let's just click on this one, and you can see the difference. This is a strong stock based upon, and I'll open up here and bring an arrow up. Here is the 200, here is the 100, here's the 50, here's the 18, so the fan is up, and also the 3 crossed the 6 clear back here. So it went from negative, here's where the momentum started coming in. These are pocket pivots, volume pocket pivot. Look at all these days. So these scans are going to help us locate these stocks as they're going through transition periods from down to up, or if they've gained momentum. Now this one here, this fan was up on this pullback, so the momentum was up to the long side, but there was a pullback, and then you can see that it found support here at the 50-day moving average line. The 3 crossed the 6 right here. Put the crosshair on here. 3 crossed the 6 right there. It's hard to see, but it did happen because you can see it crossing over, and then it started its move up. Now this is an inexpensive stock, but look at the percentage gain, and what a really a nice chart on the daily. The weekly's been pretty volatile. Now what else? What I've done is on these charts I've added the industry group is blue, and the relative strength of the industry is green. So this stock is outperforming its industry. Here's the industry. Here is the performance relative to the industry group. Okay, now I'm going to find a more expensive stock here. Here's Radnet. You can see that the 3 crossed the 6 14 days ago. 0 is always a crossover day. Using the Wyckoff indicators in HGSI, volume's above average, the spread's wide, and the close is very high. It has a relative strength rank of 94. These stocks that are in a strong uptrend are obviously going to have higher relative strength numbers. It's only up 28 cents today, but let's take a look at it. I'll bring it up. Here's the weekly. Look at the weekly. Here was a price trend change right here, and I'm going to get into all that. And it has continued to move up. And the crossover is 14 days ago on the 3 and the 6. By the way, I have just a 3-6 crossover here, and I put the histogram on top above the volume so I can pull this up so we can see the crossovers much easier. Okay, now let's see what the context of this chart was on this crossover. By context, I mean how it was doing relative to all of the moving averages. So let's just go down here, and you can see that it was in a long-term uptrend. Let me clear these out of here and start over. So here's the 200, the 100, the 50, the 18, and the 3 crossed the 6 back here. I believe that's where it happened. And then as it started to move up, you can see the volume coming into it. Like I said, Frank Bunn really doesn't even mention volume as far as I've heard, I should say. But HGSI, we have this pocket pivot volume, and there's no VPA flags on this chart. If I clear this off and drop down 1, this has a VPA. I want to go over this stuff with you without the VPA, and then I want to incorporate VPA into it just to show you how much it can add to the analysis of the charts. Now I'm going to end this video. This first one, I just want to tell you what I'm doing. I'll start a new list of videos, and we're really going to get into it, and we're going to go over all of the things that are on that PDF file. So if you're interested in watching these videos, I suggest you download that PDF file, and so you can follow along. If you're not an HGSI user, hopefully you will be after I go through these videos. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. I'll get a video or two out this week.